Democratic strategist Max Burns wrote an amazing op-ed that was featured in The Hill this week, where he talked about the fact that Donald Trump, the Republican Party, all of them have now fallen into this world that is just consumed with conspiracy theories. And part of the reason that they are now just in this world of conspiracy theories and that's all they have for this election is because they're catering to a very niche online community where these conspiracy theories emerge. And he points out something that I had not yet taken into consideration because I consume political news all day, every day. I knew, and I'm sure everybody here knew too, because we had talked about it, the story that Republicans were pushing, one, that it was debunked, but two, the story that they were eating pets in Ohio. In Springfield, Ohio, the Haitian immigrants are eating pets. We had heard that. We had seen it, and we knew it was debunked. Most Americans, as Burns points out, and again, I didn't even think of this, they had no idea. They're not terminally online, as a lot of us are. So when they heard Donald Trump start screaming, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, these people had no idea what he was talking about. And they just assumed, okay, he's insane. And that was insane. Much like his claim when he tried to blame the Virginia governor, like, they were going to kill the baby. They were sitting there and said, what do you want to do with it now that it's born? Do we kill it? Do we not kill it? Nobody is doing that. What the Virginia governor at the time was talking about was a situation where parents gave birth to a child, a woman gave birth to a child that was not going to survive. The conversation they were having was whether or not to keep the child on life support knowing it wasn't going to survive. That is what it wasn't about having a post-birth abortion, as Donald Trump claimed. It was about, do we continue life support or do we not? A very difficult and personal decision for the couple, but one that should not involve politics at all. And of course, it absolutely wasn't even about abortion. So Americans not knowing the backstory and Trump not providing the backstory, just trying to use it as an insane claim, pushed a conspiracy theory again that Democrats were killing babies after they were born. No, you're thinking of Republicans for doing nothing about gun control. Those are the people letting kids die. But I digress. The problem is, Donald Trump is the one who brought conspiracy theories to the mainstream of the Republican Party, which is why that's what Republicans across the board are running on right now. Sure, there's plenty of rational voices in the Republican Party that are not doing this, but the top of your party, your presidential ticket, Trump and Vance are pushing these. Too many of your elected officials are pushing these. This is now who you are. And believe it or not, folks, it goes beyond what Burns is talking about here with the abortion story, which wasn't an abortion story, and the pet eating story, which of course doesn't happen. It goes back further. It goes back to Donald Trump's first term in office. Hell, it goes back to Donald Trump's first couple days in office when we had the two photographs side by side of Obama's inauguration crowd and Trump's inauguration crowd. And Trump said, mine's bigger. More people were there. These photos are edited. They're doctored. They're fake. And technically, it goes back even before that, when Donald Trump would claim fake news on anything he didn't like. Fake poll on any poll he didn't like. That's a conspiracy theory. When you say that an article, a piece of news, is completely fake, it's because you think it's fake to make you look bad, which is a conspiracy. So Trump has been pushing conspiracy theories forever. Then, of course, the election conspiracies. I mean, look, I wrote the list here. Infanticide, it's not happening. Nobody is killing the babies except for Republicans doing nothing about gun control. They burned down cities in 2020. Nope. Were there a couple people busted for arson? Yes, 100%. Were cities burned down? No. He even mentioned that during the debate, by the way. Seattle was burned down. Minneapolis was burned down. No, they weren't. Nope. I think we would have heard that these cities were burned to ash. Didn't happen. Election rigging. Well, we all know Donald Trump's conspiracy theories on that have been widely debunked. Lawfare, right? They've weaponized the DOJ against me. I'm an innocent man. Not according to a jury. According to a jury, you're a convicted criminal, a convicted felon. All the fake polls, not just in 2016 or in 2020, but today. All the bad polls, fake polls, fake polls, fake polls. Crime statistics, right? Not just with eating the pets. We got a Venezuelan gang that's taken over, he said, parts of Colorado. That hasn't happened. Crime is out of control in New York. Across the country, Trump told us, you can't walk across the street to go get groceries without getting shot, sexually assaulted, or mugged. This man just makes stuff up. And as Burns does correctly point out, some of it comes from these crazy online communities of right-wingers who push nonsense in order to get people to be afraid enough to vote for Republicans. But some of it comes from Trump himself. And the rest of the Republican Party has latched onto it. Kari Lake, I think, is a phenomenal example. For 2 years now, she has been fighting. Even before the voting happened in Arizona's 2022 gubernatorial race, she had filed lawsuits before the voting started, claiming the election was rigged against her. Had Trump not set the precedent for that, Kari Lake never would have done it. She never would have had that idea. I don't think she's smart enough to have that idea on her own. But this is what's happened to the entire Republican Party. 25 million immigrants have crossed that border in 4 years. 25 million. And yet most of us can go years without even seeing anyone in this country that is here illegally. Hell, a lot of us go days, weeks, or even months without seeing a non-white person. Let's be honest. Don't you think if there were 25 million illegals, 1 million coming across a month, they have told us? Don't you think you'd see them somewhere, right? Where are they all hiding? Where'd they go? I'm not saying that people aren't coming across the border, because obviously they are. They always have. And they always will. But it certainly is not as extreme or dire as the Republicans have made it sound. This is a party that is so bad on policy, so weak and so stupid on policy, that the only thing they have to run on today are conspiracy theories and lies spread by a madman who should be retired playing golf and not involved in politics, or a bunch of crazy yahoos on Twitter, some of whom don't even live in the United States, spreading lies and propaganda just because they hate Democrats so much. That is today's Republican Party. So every time you hear Republicans spread one of these lies or one of these conspiracy theories, remember that it's because they have nothing else to talk about. This is a party, a political party, that has had no accomplishments in my entire lifetime. None. Over 40 years of failure is what that Republican Party has given us. That's just my lifetime. It goes even back further. But that's why they've latched onto conspiracy theories. They clearly can't talk about policy because they suck at it, so they just make stuff up and hope nobody notices. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.